There we are. Your green screen cropping looks much better than mine.
Uh,
Well, I say that now. I see stuff popping in the background. I don't know.
it's probably because I wasn't moving.
Could be. Could be. What's going on with you, man?
Uh, it's another day in paradise.
How are the kids?
No comment.
Okay, that's cool. Good stuff. Um, yeah, folks, we are here live in the flesh. That's Leroy Michael. This is the We Trying channel, Nerdy by Nature production. Um, we've been pretty consistent so far. What is that? Four or five, giving content about 4 or 5 weeks in a row.
I have no idea how many weeks in a row, but we've been doing a pretty decent job. We almost didn't hit this week because honestly, we did not know what to talk about. Well, we part of the problem is there are things that we both like that the other one hasn't either watched or done yet. So like I'm big into comics, you don't read a lot of comics. You're bigger into anime now than I am right now. So it's like and so there's like things we need to get better. I feel like we were more in sync with certain things in the past. So
Well, I think working at the same job made that easier
yeah, yeah,
for sure. That definitely made it
it,
easier
yeah, it did.
because we could talk about it at work.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yes, IMAX live. We are live. Can't believe it.
Yep,
We are live. Yeah.
yep. Live during March Madness.
Did you make a bracket?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I've fallen off on college basketball. I mean, you remember I used to make a bracket
Yeah.
every year to note. It wasn't like it was any like everybody else's. Didn't get really far. I
Hmm.
think one year I made it to maybe the Sweet 16 with like two of my teams still intact in
Sure.
the finals, and then I just kind of with life I've fallen off.
Fair enough.
But here's the thing: watching it now, like when you have no stakes in it, I'm just watching it and like I'm enjoying the games. And honestly, I'm more in tune with the women's game than I am the men's game, only because I work and do more women's games.
Yeah.
And the U.S. South Carolina's women's team is better than the men's team. And so today I worked. Um, South Carolina played Southern and beat the
Man, I didn't
dogs.
watch the
Yeah.
game. I just saw the final score. I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, tell the people what the final score was.
It was 100 something, like 103 to 36, maybe?
No, I don't even think them girls got 36 points.
I don't know.
Hold on, let me look it up. They. So I was texting my dad, and hold on. Uh, hold on. Let me.
Okay, Zayla Maru. Yes, we are live. We are live indeed.
Oh, you were right. 103 to 34. I honestly just forgot that they broke 30 points because
Yeah.
they were stuck at 22 for like the long, like 19 for the longest, and then they got
Mm,
like, I think the third quarter, I think they might have scored 3 points.
Jeez, that's
Yeah,
rough.
it was bad. And keep in mind, all of the USC's women were not even playing. So like Maddie didn't play, Kobe Kitts is still out. Um, they weren't even knocking down the threes like they normally do. They just beat the dog snot of these girls.
Yeah.
And then the next game was the real USC versus Clemson.
Not the real
And
USC.
I said what I said. Um, they played Clemson. USC was ranked ninth, and Clemson was ranked eighth. And Clemson, they put up a really good fight. That like some people were like, well, Clemson might have been a better team, and I'm like, nah, because USC didn't even have Juju playing, and their lead scorer was Jazzy Davidson, and she's a freshman. That chick put up 34 points. Like she single handedly destroyed Clemson's team. But in Clemson's defense, Mia Moore did not score to the fourth. And it was
Mm,
a great ending because it was almost a buzzer beater. But as my wife likes to point out, well, it wasn't a buzzer, whatever. It wasn't a buzzer beater. It had to go to overtime, and then USC pulled it out. So I say
okay.
all that to say I have not made a bracket for the men because I know
Talking
more about the
about
women's game.
yeah, talking about March Madness, because I work at an NBC affiliate now, and we don't carry March Madness. I enjoy it more because I remember you and I used to hate going on it. midnight. If we were lucky, it would be midnight during March
You
Madness.
remember that year we didn't go until like 1 a.m. because they had to
Yeah,
put all the games on True TV and
yeah,
the TNT. Yeah.
yeah. Nobody was watching us for news at 1 a.m. in the morning.
Mm-mm.
But you do what
Nope.
you do.
Nope.
And now I'm just like, man, I'm glad I'm not a CBS affiliate having to deal with that. Uh, but yeah, I didn't. I say all that to say I did not make a bracket either because w- somebody did start a little pool at the station, but I
Mhm.
was like, it's whatever.
Yeah, I meant to do. I keep getting the emails like, hey, but I'm like, you know what? Nah, I'm good. I'm like, I'm just gonna enjoy it. And again, I'll watch the Final Four. Me and my dad, he watches more basketball than me, and I'll watch like the last. I'll probably watch some of the Elite Eight. I'll definitely watch the Final Four, and I'll definitely watch the championship game. But like,
Mhm.
I ain't really invested in it like that, like I used to be. So,
Word. Yeah. Okay. We slowly get building up a chat here, audience here in the crowd. What are we talking about, Leroy?
well, you were up a good couple of topics, so we're going to try to do two topics tonight. I want to start with the 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 title says DLS. So Nvidia had a well, you break down what happened and what we can.
I will try to, as someone
Okay,
who knows some of the terms, but not everything, and
yeah,
people who are into computers. If you guys know some stuff, let us know.
yeah,
Nvidia had some sort of press conference showing a trailer
hmm
talking about the new improvements they're making in AI generation and their super sampling and all that stuff called DLSS. Is that direct learning super sampling? Maybe, I don't know.
hmm
It's fancy terms to make AI supposedly in their perfect world. It is supposed to make games better supposedly because AI will generate frames and generate stuff that programmers will not have to do. Um, what we are seeing more and more is that this AI is kind of taking over and making stuff look completely different from what the programmers and art directors intended for their game to be.
hmm
We could probably, I'll talk and then you talk, and I'll see if I can find the video so we can play the
okay,
clip or whatever. But they showed a video that showed games running without DLSS5 on and then with DLSS5, with it on and with it off.
yep,
Every game, um, I mean, at first glance, you're like, oh, this does look interesting. And the more you look at it, and it depends, right? Some people could argue that maybe it does look more realistic, but that doesn't mean it makes it look better.
okay,
Um, that's kind of my opening thought. People could say it does make it look more realistic, but that doesn't mean it makes it look better because things can get more uncanny valley with
hmm
characters looking photorealistic with Instagram filters and the background still not doing whatever.
yep.
And there are unintended consequences from those videos of changing lighting sources and how things looked and how things were shaded, and it kind of changes the atmosphere of the games. So that's what I got.
So it was. So I'm going to read from the IGN article by Jacqueline Thomas. NVIDIA announced DLSS5 on Monday, which was swiftly followed by an immediate backlash from gamers, developers alike. And while NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang has claimed people are wrong about their distaste for the fledgling technology, Team Green has released some comments that have clarified what it does for better or for worse. Um, that's the opening salvo. Um, I I saw this through a different lens. So I found out about this because I'm online more on Threads, not on Instagram, and on Facebook a little bit, and YouTube. So I saw this through the lens of a lot of streamers and developers were coming after, and I brought this up to you, were coming after Digital Foundry because after the Monday announcement and all the pictures and all the the conversation around it, Digital Foundry seemed to be a little bit more passive than people had wanted. A lot of people seem to want Digital Foundry to be very critical of this technology and very critical of how it's being used. And they seem to come off to a lot of people as very lenient in their criticisms, which then got Digital Foundry accused of, are they shills? Is this sponsored content? And it caused that whole conversation because Digital Foundry is known for their critiques of the actual art and the actual technology behind video games, how they're actually made, the actual pixels, the ray tracing frames per second. So a lot of people were a little caught off guard by their nonchalant assessment.
And while we're talking, I'm going to play the video so people can see it in case they haven't
Go ahead.
seen the video.
Go ahead.
It's been a minute since we've done this. Let's see if this works still. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
So as you see,
So you never saw just the clip by itself. You read the articles first and then saw the clip.
I saw images online
Mhm.
on threads first of the different AI or the different on and off images. So like the Hogwarts Legacy with the wrinkles, Resident Evil Requiem was the one that really got people all up in arms because the accusation was it was AI slop.
Mhm.
And the way they changed. And so as I saw it through this lens. So personally, I have two different mindsets about it. I understand changing the background a little bit, changing the shadows, changing the way the textures of some of the things in the background. I do get that. I do understand where you may want to change that and you want to be able to play with that. If you are a PC gamer and that's something you want to do.
Mhm.
Now they have admitted, NVIDIA, that this is something that you can turn on or off to your liking. What I didn't like goes back to what you said about developers not liking it. If I make something, perfect example, Resident Evil Requiem.
Yeah.
There's a
I
reason
can
why.
do some pausing too if you want.
Well, so right here, DLSS on. Grace's character is a nerd. She's not a femme fatale. She is an FBI agent who has a traumatic experience happen to her. She is not going to be dolled up like an Instagram influencer trying to tell you what makeup tips to use.
Mhm.
And so when you put this filter on it, because I look at it as like a filter. I don't necessarily call it AI. I know that the term everybody's using is AI slop, and I get that. I look at it as a filter. That's not what the developers wanted. And two, that changes the essence of the game to a certain extent. Because then the character changes. The way the look of this game is part of this game's storytelling. So when you change the
Add to
shadows,
that, I want to see if it could. Let's see.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know if you notice it, but like in the original image, it also like the game overall looks darker too,
Mhm.
which I feel like adds to the atmosphere of the game of the scary Resident Evil thing. But with the filter on, it does kind of brighten stuff up a little bit, which takes
Yes.
away.
So it also goes back to this idea where you don't play a lot of scary games, but you played that original Resident Evil game, or the remakes.
The remake Resident Evil 2, yeah.
So in the games, a lot of times they will have this little bar that says, can you see this image?
Sure.
And move it to where you can just barely see the image, what's good for your eyesight.
Yeah.
But it doesn't actually change the game itself and the way it looks. As far as like, it just brightens it so that you can still play the game. To me, this changes the actual feel of the game. And that's where I have a problem, because once you start introducing these things, we all know that once it's introduced, it's no longer yours, and then someone is able to do what they want to do with it. What I'm worried about is people will start doing this, and that developers will then be forced to make their games look like this. There is something to a game that looks like there's something to a game that looks like Borderlands versus
Hmm.
a game that looks like Space Marine 2, from Final Fantasy to Crimson Desert, which we'll get to later on. To me, this fundamentally changes these games because art and the art direction is part of the game.
Right.
So that's my initial feelings behind it. I don't like it personally.
No, yeah, it looks, and I'm definitely probably more of a optimistic person than you overall, right? So I can
Definitely.
agree, or I can concede that it looks more realistic.
Hmm.
But I think the issue is with that realism, then you start getting into Uncanny Valley, and just talking about, like we said, you take away the intent of the game developers.
Yes.
Um, and it seems like the CEO first said, no, it's not really changing the coding or whatever, or it's not doing as much as people were claiming. And then they said back, well, it kind of is changing what was actually happening in the code of the game or whatever, or in the direction of the game. So it's weird. Talk to me more about the digital foundry stuff, because I was kind of looking it up, or I was looking it up, and it seemed like, I don't know if in the original review they did, or it was like the second amended critique, they talked about the fact that this isn't as great as a video would have you believe. But I don't
Yeah.
know if that came from the first time or the second time.
Well, I caught it through other people because here's the thing: I don't watch a lot of Digital Foundry because I'm gonna be honest with you. This is beyond me. I've moved into a realm where I don't care about how many frames per second. Like I know that is a big thing for people. The
Yeah.
ray tracing frames per second. I've moved beyond that. That is not my bag. I don't. I'm not gonna say I don't care. Because one of the best looking games I think was Callisto Protocol
Hmm.
because in the way they and I loved learning about that game, but the way they that in Spider-Man 2, the amount of detail they put in the background, the way the eyes move, all that other stuff, that's cool. But then look at how much they paid to make that shit happen. It's unnecessary, in my opinion.
Hmm.
And for all those tech people out there who are really interested, that's your bag. I understand that. So I don't watch a lot of digital foundry, so I didn't pick up on a lot of the things that they do that other people who watch them intently do.
Hmm.
So one of the things that they noticed was when this original video came out, they were very they I don't want to say very complimentary, but they a lot of people were really looking for Digital Foundry to be like this benchmark of saying
More
no.
objective.
Yes. And honestly for them to say no. Like this is and that's also not their bag. They don't talk about, at least in my short time that I've watched them, they don't talk about these kind of things. Like, and so I thought it was very interesting that a lot of streamers were very critical of them because I was like, hey, that's not their thing. But then the accusations of they're very close to NVIDIA.
Hmm.
And I was like, oh, I see where they were going. It's almost like, is this sponsored content? And so I was trying to pull up some of the people who were very critical um, on YouTube that I had watched. And I was trying to go through my history. Hold on. But here we go. One of the people that I do watch was where is it? Where did it go? I wonder if they took some of these things. Some of the people like relabeled their stuff because people had been clipping some of the stuff that they were saying. Um, I know Kind of Funny said something.
Hmm.
Um, Luke Stevens, somebody I watch from time to time. Um, Outside Extra. Um, who else? But there was a couple of people that I noticed, and a couple of shorts, people like clipping their stuff, who were like, "Hey, they really wanted more critical analysis of this from somebody whose voice in the gaming industry carries some weight." IGN talks to Digital Foundry and credits Digital Foundry for a lot of times for the nitty gritty stuff that they just don't do.
Mhm.
So I thought that was really interesting that one of your premier tier streamers wasn't as critical as a lot of people thought that they should have been. Um, I also think this is interesting for now because the gaming community has seemed to really be very critical, almost downright hateful to this. The problem with that is there's a difference between the gaming community and the executives who make games. The gaming community has responded time and time again. We do not want more live service games. That has not changed of game developers and game makers deciding to make more live service games.
Yeah.
So for this to be pushed out there, a lot of people's worry is that eventually a copycat will start because we've seen that. Perfect example of Souls-like games. Dark Souls came out, everybody latched onto Souls-like game, and you have some great ones. That's not my bag, but I'm not knocking you if you like them. And so we have seen a turn from those games and a little bit more variety again. But for a while, all we saw were Souls-likes.
Mm-hmm.
We went through that. That's my biggest fear of this, is that certain people will say, hey, we don't need as many developers and as many programmers because we can just, the games can just turn this on when if they have this feature, and they can turn the game into whatever they want it to look like. That's my biggest fear. And that the copycats will then start saying, well, this is cost effective. NVIDIA does all the work for us.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, what's the end game is what? Getting more money into hands of the game companies and not the people that are making the games, but the shareholders, and cutting jobs at the same time. So I mean, that's what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Does it mean there's less time put on how characters look and they're spending more time on other stuff, like character animations or environmental stuff? I don't know, but it does seem like there's a disconnect between the people that are creating the technology and what people want.
And here's the other thing. Did you notice every single one of those games had real people in it? Like they were trying.
Oh, you mean like as opposed to like as an alien or something or whatever?
Well, not just the alien, but like they did FIFA, Hogwarts Legacy, Starfield, and
Resident Evil
Requiem. They didn't do, again, I say Borderlands, I bring up Borderlands, Outer Worlds, because the art direction of those games are so unique to those games and that storytelling. Mm-hmm. And to me, you have really broadened my horizon, because for a while I was really stuck in a rut of just playing shoot people, stab people in the face games. Sure. And the indie games of Tunic, Journey, Limbo, Grease, some of the 8-bit games or the 2D games, AI slop, or I don't want to keep calling it AI slop, but I don't know any other way to say this. That's not going to help those games.
Yeah, yeah.
Blueprints is not going to benefit from this.
So yeah, I would like to see what this looks like on games with a less realistic art style. Like, what does it look like on a bunch of Nintendo games like a Mario or a Legend of Zelda? How does it change the characters and stuff?
I don't think it can, because I think those are very distinct. Like the 2 Zelda games that came out for the Switch, and we've talked about this before in the past, where Nintendo has made a business decision that says we don't give a shit about the most advanced graphics, the most advanced hardware.
Yeah,
we're going to make games that you enjoy playing. We're going to make a profit on those games, and we're not going to allow our characters and our games to be played anywhere else. Mm-hmm. And with that being said, I'm I as much as I like to rag on Nintendo, I respect them for saying we're going to make a Legend of Zelda game unlike anything you've ever seen before, because that's what they did. And it works. It sells. It has unique art style that whatever Nvidia is making cannot enhance it.
Mhm.
Because if it could, they would have shown us that. That's the thing that I think is interesting. That all of the games that they showed, and here's the other thing: I don't have a problem with what they did with Starfield or FIFA, because those games are meant to be a little bit more realistic. I don't if you want to turn that on for Starfield, hey, that's okay. The game itself is the game look is not designed. The background is not designed to be a part of the game. That's one of the things you talked about when you played Resident Evil. How the background played so much into that game, the atmosphere.
Yeah. Do you think with all this backlash, it's going to slow Nvidia down from DLS?
Hell no.
Okay, there we go.
Hell no. Because here's the other thing. And this is the part we have not talked about, that because I don't think we've ever talked about it on here. A couple of weeks ago, do you remember when, and I don't know what AI generator they were using to make all of these like scenes, Tom Cruise fighting, was it Keanu Reeves? Whatever that video was.
Yeah, Will Smith eating spaghetti or something.
Yeah, they were making all these like little scenes, and like on Threads, again, I'm on Threads. There's a lot of people like showing or like boasting that the Hollywood is over. And a lot of people are talking about like, yes, you made this scene, but you don't have any depth, you don't have any storytelling. Like, this is just a scene. And I don't want to be critical of this person, but a lot of people were comparing a lot of the AI stuff that these people were making to Zack Snyder's slow motion scenes. And so I bring that up to say that's why I don't think NVIDIA is ever going to slow down, because there's going to be a whole host of people who are going to look at that and say, that's the future, and use these tools to develop things that I think are going to be copycat. So I'm not against some of this technology. I'm not. What I'm afraid of is this technology replacing people to make everything look the same. There's a reason why Dune looks different than Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
There's a director, there's a cinematographer. There is storytelling in how things look. That's why there's a whole goddamn category in gaming awards and movie awards for set design, cinematography, art direction, costume, hair and makeup. And if you look at gaming, art direction, narrative, and so that's my biggest fear.
I was looking up stuff on Crimson Desert. Yeah, I mean, I think. Let me go back and read the rest of these comments on here. Oh, those clips were made by ByteDance. I didn't know that. That's interesting. Chat, y'all let me know. Did TikTok ever get sold? Did that happen yet?
Yes. Ellison's on TikTok. Yes.
Yeah,
remember, TikTok got sold. Yeah. So that's where I stand on it. Like, here's the thing. And Kay brings it up. All these AI clips are soulless video devoid of any artistic creativity. I want to give a little context to that. I do agree with what Kay is saying. And I do let me highlight this comment. I do agree with a lot what Kay is saying. Here's where I think AI or these tools will be helpful. I think these tools will be helpful to the next person who makes Chronicle, who uses these AI tools when they're making movies,
Mhm.
so that they don't have to have a big budget Hollywood studio behind them. I understand if you're going to if all you're going to do is use this tool to make a movie, that's no. But if you're going to pepper in and use it to help with some of your special effects, it's going to help with some of your design, to help finish or flesh out your vision, like Neil Blomkamp. I am interested to see what Neil Blomkamp, who understands how technology works, science fiction work, who has been very into, he's made, and if you don't know who Neil Blomkamp is, District 9, Elysium, Chappie, which I'm not a fan of Chappie, but the way that movie looks, it has a unique look to it. I'm interested to see how filmmakers, up and coming filmmakers, use this technology.
Mhm.
I do not want to see that technology infiltrating Hollywood to where everything looks the same. And I think that's where everybody's scared of. That's where everybody is like, this is the warning sign, because I would like to see, it's almost like Pro Tools, Photoshop.
Yeah.
That's what I would like to see people using it for. Now here's the thing. Okay, I would say I think some of the tools can be useful. Um, that Zaylen Maru brings up a good point. Affleck sold his AI firm, which helps filmmakers. I would like to see what that looks like. I'm not as down on that as I am some of this other stuff that we see where people are making like Transformers transform, and you're like, yeah, that's it looks like the Michael Bay Transformers. And if you know me, I thought the Rise of the Beast and Bumblebee looked more like the cartoon
Mhm.
and looked more real. I like those movies better than the Michael Bay movies. So that's just me. But for those of you who are new, that's Michael. I'm Leroy. This is the We Trying channel. Like, comment, and subscribe. We just got finished talking about AI slop and DLSS, because that's what people call it, AI slop. Let's move on to a game that just came out,
Mhm.
Crimson Desert.
I
Michael,
still don't know what this game is.
really?
I mean, I've kind of followed it, and I know people. The Korean studio has been working on it for 7 years or something. It
Mhm.
looks great, and to what I gather, it seems to have okay to slightly above average reviews, which have not gone well for the company's stock price.
It is not.
Um,
Um,
yeah, I think the Metacritic. Hold on, I pulled up IGN's article that they
the
did 2 days
Metacritic
ago.
sits at 78. Uh,
It's still a
generally
78.
favor. It's still a 78. User
Okay.
score 7.8. IGN has it listed as a 6 out of 10.
Mhm.
Right now, it is considered mostly positive on Steam, and OpenCritic has it at a 79.
Okay.
So OpenCritic aggregates a lot of gaming scores, and they actually post. So PC Gamer has it an 80 out of 100. Eurogamer has it a 3.5, 3 out of 5. The Gamer has it a 4 out of 5. GameSpot 7 out of 10. VG 24/7 has a 3 out of 5. Tom's Guide 4 out of 5. Dual Shockers has it a 9.5 out of 10. Hobby Consolas has it at an 80 out of 10. Um, I I remember when we seen the trailers for this game, and everybody was like, "This game is ambitious," and they said if it does half of what they want in the trailer, or what it showed in the trailer, wow. Um, First question to you: is
Mhm.
this a game you want to play?
I wouldn't mind trying it. I don't know that I want to spend what is it, probably 70, $80 for the game. Let's
Mhm.
see, what does it cost? How much does it
It
cost?
costs up to $70.
$7. Okay. Um, that's a lot of money for because just based on what it is, I don't know. It is not the style of game I usually play. Because is it multiplayer or is it just single player?
Single player. Wait, I believe it's single player. Yep, it's single player. Yep, single player.
Featuring no co-op, no shared worlds. Okay. It was conceived as an MMORPG and then they made it a single player.
Yep.
Okay. Um, interesting. It seems like there's so much to do.
Yes.
Um, I have so many other games that are so much to do. I am back on my grind playing Star Wars Outlaws right now. Um,
Hmm.
the game, and it falls into the traps of a lot of open world games. You're kind of doing the same mission over and over again, but the story is pushing me along to. I want to be on this adventure with Kay and build up this crew for this super score. So I'm liking
Yeah.
that a lot. But I say all that to say, I have that to play. I still have Assassin's Creed Shadows to play. Um, the latest Infinite, latest Yakuza game spinoff that came out. So I have so many open world games to play. I don't know when, if and when I would get to Crimson Desert. Maybe I pick it up when it goes down to 30, $20 and I finally try it.
Yeah.
But it looks great and I'm intrigued, but not enough to buy it. I feel like the next big game I would buy day one or maybe like week one, probably GTA 6. That would be my next purchase of this year, I think. Provided Final Fantasy isn't coming out this year, which I don't think it is.
Uh, uh, I'm trying to find the right way to say this. I think this is going to be one of those games where the critical community and the gaming Illuminati who rates games, and I say that tongue in cheek, who rates games, the critics are going to be on one side, and the actual people who play the games for fun are going to be diametrically opposed to one another. I think this is one of those games. I think there's so much going on in this game that the people who play the game are going to be like, you guys are full of shit. And I've
Mhm.
already kind of seen it online. And the reason why I say that is because we've seen quite a few games, most notably Days Gone. And I say that to say there we do not know, there's a lot of games that people do not understand the history of the game. And I bring up Days Gone as a perfect example. So Crimson Desert came out, and I think the game itself, I think there are some actual valid criticisms to the game. But I think this game was so ambitious, the trailers were so hyped, people were so ready for it. And I do believe that the developer is going to invest, Pearl Abyss is going to invest and fix a lot of the problems with the game. So a lot of people are going to see the score and they're going to be like, you gave this game a 6, and I love this game. Because a lot of people are going to buy this game and play it. It was at this point in the game's life cycle, this game had sold more copies or had more pre-order copies than uh, Expedition 33,
Mhm.
Clear Obscure. So there's another game that went on to like win a bunch of awards, be Game of the Year nominee. But I think that there's going to be a disconnect. Just like Days Gone. When Days Gone first came out, there were a couple of things going against Days Gone. One, it came out during a year. Last of Us 2 came out. There was another zombie game that came out. It came out during a crowded year. There were a lot of bugs that happened to that game that caused them not to sell as much as they could have in the beginning initially. Then the game, did you hear that?
I hear your fan on your computer.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Okay.
Um,
You thought you just
then
heard a random kid?
no, there was something over here that I heard, but
Oh,
you guys didn't hear it, so don't worry about it. So then the game got fixed. There were a lot of problems, gameplay, a lot of things that happened in the game that got fixed in the game subsequently, and more people bought it after the game was fixed when it was on sale. The game got a great following as the years went on. It then went to Steam. People played it on years and years, and the game got a very big cult following. And then people went back and looked at a lot of reviews for the game and were like, hey, this game is better than what you guys rated as. And then they were really bragging on the game, of the people who reviewed the game. And then one of the developers of the game came out trashing people for not buying it day one. And that caused a whole nother thing. I think Crimson Desert is going to be one of those games. There are some legitimate issues with this game from a lot of people who reviewed it. IGN has said they were 100 hours in. There were times that they got 7 hours into the game and they hit a patch where they had to go back and do another save file. Hold on a second, I gotta sneeze.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's some legit criticisms around this game. With that being said, if they invest in this game, I do believe this could raise the stock price back up. I think it's ambitious. I also think they put they threw everything. There's elements of Final Fantasy in here. There's elements of Legend of Zelda. There's a lot going on in this game, and there's like Dynasty Warrior elements in this. If they fix it like a Cyberpunk, because that was another game that came out that was a lot of people looking forward to it, but universally panned by gamers and critics. The difference is a lot of people who play games seem to enjoy this game and do not share the same sentiment as people who have reviewed this game.
The question I wanted to bring up was, do you think we have a slippery slope of early poorly reviewed games having a disadvantage for stock? And I don't even know, I guess what I'm trying to say is, was the stock unfairly adjusted because of the reviews?
Yes, but that's what happens when you play. That's what happens when your whole economy is based on people's feelings.
Sure.
So I'll give you an example. Tesla sells less cars than any other car maker, has issues more than any other car maker, but is valued more than any other car maker. Some people claim it as a meme stock. The CEO of the company has for decades has been insulated by positive reviews. They've been calling it Tony Stark. He was in an Iron Man movie. But the company itself has been propped up by this idea that this man is a genius, regardless of how the company performs.
Sure.
It's based on feelings, the vibes. When your whole economic system is based on vibes, how people feel about a particular thing can change your fortunes. Like this developer just found out. Everybody was so hyped for this game. Pre-orders came out. We've seen all the trailers. And then the game came out and the reviews were not where everybody thought they were. It wasn't clear obscure. And the stock price dropped. Now, the stock price doesn't include because I'm the stock price is is a bunch of variables. Now, have you we heard exactly how many copies this game has sold
I think it's 2 million so far.
in how many weeks?
Oh, I mean, probably a few days, right? Because it came out this week.
That's my point. The stock dropped because of reviews, because of vibes, but yet it sold 2 million copies in a week. But the people in the word, and this is what I'm saying, the word of mouth of this game, if people are enjoying it, is going to get around, and people are going to enjoy this game. And that's where I'm like, okay, what does the community say about this game? What do we see? What is social media saying on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram?
Oh,
So let's
according to the developer Pearl Abyss, they said they sold 2 million copies within the first 24 hours.
boom.
So that's wild.
So here's the thing. Here's what Game Informer magazine 3 days ago. Crimson Desert is a beautifully exploration-rich open world game that's a clear technological achievement, hampered by a cornucopia of little frustrations and a stark lack of narrative depth. Um, Here's somebody who's saying, "Pin the shadows. I love Crimson Desert. In terms of emergent gameplay, it is absolute excellent due to the sheer amount of interactions that can happen in the game world. I think that element is where it is most impressive. It leads to hilarious moments like going toe to toe with a grizzly bear only to have a tree fall on top of a cliff, killing him instantly, or picking up a felled tree and smashing it into an abandoned encampment, destroying the whole thing." Here's another person. Decided to check out Crimson Desert despite clunky controls and early bugs. Actually enjoyed it so far. If the control, here's another person. If the controls, and those two people said that. If the controls in Crimson Desert are kicking your ass, it's definitely a skill issue. Um, Somebody else. Listen, y'all. I'm 15 minutes into Crimson Desert. I've already picked up 3 cats and pet a dog. I don't care what anyone says. Game of the year.
I don't know if I could. Okay,
So
sure.
what I'm saying is, this is just on Threads, and it seems to be a lot of people are enjoying their time in the game.
Hmm.
There are some legitimate complaints about the game, the controls, some of the things, and that is something we should talk about. But I do believe there is a disconnect from a lot of this game critique, from a lot of these game critiques, to do you enjoy playing this game? And I think that's something that we have stopped actually talking about. Do you enjoy the game? Is this game for you? Like a lot of people hated Death Stranding. You talk to people about your feelings about Death Stranding, just so we can give some context.
Yeah, whatever. I'm glad y'all people love it. Wasn't for me.
I loved it, really loved it, loved everything about it, understood what they were going for. Here's the funny thing: playing Death Stranding 2 feels like an old glove, fits perfectly. Not enjoyed it as much as I did the first one.
Hmm.
Gameplay is just as good, if not better than the first one. Story wise, I'm okay. It feels like an old t-shirt.
Hmm.
But that's my point. Are you actually enjoying the game? Do the controls work? And are you actually enjoying it? I think that's the thing, the disconnect with this game that we're seeing. There's a lot of games, the gameplay, and you're enjoying it. No, it. But then, how many games have you played? Like, what's a game that pops off the top of your head? The story was like, but I just enjoyed playing.
Uh,
Like, you knew it was a game of the year. You knew it wouldn't win any awards, but you were like, I had fun.
oh, probably Yakuza Infinite Wealth.
Okay.
That was a fun game, but I'm not like, oh yeah, this deserves a win game of the year. Like the story was, it was fun for what it was. That I didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's what this is,
Okay.
and I think a
Cool.
lot of people are losing sight of it. Now, here's my question: did they spend too much money making this? Because according to estimates, they spent $130 million making this game.
I mean, I don't know because how much money has GTA 6 spent? That company.
Don't get me to
I
start, man.
mean, I think if they make a profit, then they're fine. Like
But
that
here's
does
the
seem like a
question:
lot of money, but I mean, it's over 7 years. Games are more and more expensive now.
you got to
If
make
if
you
they
got to make
recoup it,
you got to make a nice profit. Because Spider-Man 2 made a profit. It didn't make enough.
yeah. So I don't know. I think it's too early to tell if they spent too much on it.
Because that to me, that's the question. Because like, here's the thing: high on life, high on life. I enjoyed that game. It got a little repetitive, but I still enjoyed it. It's not a game that I would buy. I'm glad that I was able to pay it with PlayStation Plus. It like if I do get PlayStation Plus again because it's like dirt cheap, and I play the sequel because it's on, I'll play it, but I'm not buying it. But
Mhm.
that's not to say it's a bad game. Uh, Dead Island 2. I had fun. I enjoyed it. Another game I got to play would would definitely play another Dead Island. But I'm not like, it wasn't a game where I was like, oh, this is game of like no, it was a fun game. It was a good time.
Mhm.
And I think that's what Coachman Desert is. For those people who want a good time, who want to play a game, who has all these different game mechanics thrown into, have fun, man. Don't. My thing is this: just because someone rates a game, because again, I love Days Gone. There are moments in that game that piss me off, but I had fun. I play it once. I play the game once a year, like once a year, once every year and a half. I play that game.
Mhm.
Loved it. Would love a sequel. It's not game of the year. I don't need it to be. I got to be Deacon St. John's or whatever his name is. Sam Whitwer. I got to play the guy who plays Darth Maul. I get to ride around on a motorcycle, hitting people in the head and shooting hordes of zombies. I don't need it to be. Uh, I don't need it to be game of the year.
Cool.
I just need to have fun.
Just have fun, folks. That's how we can wrap this up. Just have fun.
Just have fun, man. Like,
Yeah.
don't. There's a lot of naysayers, a lot of haters. Is it? Again, we say this all the time, Michael. Is it for you? Do you like it? Fuck the haters.
Here we go. All right. Let's wrap this up.
All right. What got you through the week, man?
Um, it's been a crazy weekend news.
Oh yeah.
I'll
You
say
still
that.
doing that? You still doing that?
Still doing that. It's been a crazy weekend news. Um, for people who have watched their videos in the past or watched our most recent like 4 or 5 videos, you'll know me and my wife celebrated our 1 year wedding anniversary. We went to Dirty Myrtle
They went
Beach.
to Bucky's, y'all.
We did go to Bucky's. Um, I think we had a better experience than what you and Katie had.
I told you it was a lot, didn't
It is a lot. But it was the service was fine. We were able to,
I? Yeah.
because it's so packed. A lot of times people aren't looking for where the open lines are, so we were able to go in and get in and get out relatively quick. Went there, went to Myrtle Beach. We did an escape room. We did not win the escape room.
Oh,
Apparently, we'll talk about it off air. I don't want to put you
okay.
on blast, but it was funny. You were supposed to do something that you didn't do.
What was I supposed to do?
You were supposed to tell Wendy when you and Katie would be free to do an escape room.
Oh yeah. So okay.
We can talk about it off air. It don't matter.
I did tell her like, well, you know what? Me and Katie talked about it, and we picked a date. We forgot to tell y'all what the time period. Like we had like dates selected, and I was like,
Cool.
"Oh, we ain't here for them," and we we moved on. And I still have them on my phone, like dates, and I'm like, "We never hear from them." And until you just said it, I was like, "I don't think we
Yeah.
ever told
Yeah.
you."
Apparently, I don't think you ever told Wendy when that was. So yeah. So that was
That's
fun.
not that's not the first time this happened. That's not the first time I've done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did that. We did Pirates Voyage, which is like a dinner and a movie show, um, produced by Dolly Parton. Good time. A lot of
Side
fun.
note: have
Uh-huh.
you seen Dolly Parton back in the day?
I only know Dolly Parton as she is now.
No,
Well,
but I'm saying like
and 9 to 5 Dolly Parton.
no. I'm talking like so. I like Dolly Parton. I grandmother used to listen to her, watch 9 to 5, knew about Dollywood, all that other stuff, and like people have like discovered Dolly Parton like on Twitter, TikTok, and Threads, and they're like, if Dolly Parton looked like this, who? What the fuck did Jolene look like?
Hmm.
Because remember, she sung the song Jolene, "Stay Away from My Man," and they're
Right.
like, Dolly Parton looked like this. What the fuck did like? What was Jolene bringing to the table?
Yeah. Yeah.
I just think that's
Um,
interesting.
but yeah, I did that, and like I said, I've been playing Star Wars Outlaws and Dave the
Mhm.
Diver. That's what I've been doing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm seeing some people in the chat. Kay says she rewatched Ready or Not for Ready or Not 2.
so I loved Ready or Not. I tried to get Michael to watch it. He would not. I think you would like Ready or Not.
Maybe. I mean, I've read the Wikipedia now, so I know what happens. So I probably could
But
watch it.
that's what I'm saying. Like it. Ready or Not is a horror movie that makes sense. If that makes sense. So like a lot of horror movies, you have to like suspend belief to like this stuff. Like these people would do these things. Ready or Not, to me, Ready or Not could actually happen in real
Mhm.
life, and it's hilarious. So, Kay, I'm with you.
IMAX, thank you for the anniversary shout out.
Yeah. Kay, I know that's a book. I got a lot of stuff on my plate. I do want to see Hail Mary. I don't know if I'll make it to the movie theater, only because there's two movies that I want to see before that. Ready or Not 2 being one of them, and They Will Kill You. Zazie Beetz is above that. So, like, if I'm going to a theater, I'm going to see Zazie Beetz fuck some people up. That's just me.
Okay.
So this week, I finished season 4 or 5 of Slow Dogs.
Of Slow
Slow
Horses?
Horse. Yeah.
Is it the most recent season?
No, it's the season. It's the season with the Libyans. So I got one season after that.
So that might have been season 4.
Yeah.
No.
So I got season.
I don't know.
Whatever the season with the Libyans. Ho has the girlfriend.
That's the most recent season.
No, there's another season after that.
Are you sure?
It's not out yet.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, I'm talking about stuff that's out.
Yeah. I don't know if it's out yet. So hold on.
No, it's not out yet.
Okay, because I finished that season.
Yeah.
Because me and you talked about it, and hold on. Oh, yep. Season 6 comes out this year.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I finished the most recent season. Invincible came back, so I watched the first episode.
I'm behind. I didn't watch the last season.
Ooh, man, I'm gonna tell you right now, those last 2 episodes of that last season was good. It is a bit I will say this: I enjoy Invincible. The episodes and the seasons are a bit disjointed because some of these events happen over multiple issues, and they're truncated in like 2 or 3 episodes. And so you don't get a lot of the character development that you would. if you had read the actual series. But the last two episodes of last season, it lives up to its name as one of the most brutal shows on television. Um, the first episode of this season was very good. Kind of sets the stage for this season. Uh, it has a definitely what the fuck did you think was going to happen if you did this from last season? So there's that. Me and my wife have started watching Hacks. Uh,
Hacks is good. I
uh,
fell
so
off, but I enjoy what I watched.
so we're on Hacks and Paradise.
Yeah.
We're Xavier pisses me off. Every episode he does something where I'm just like, how are you like not just Xavier? A lot of people in this show piss me off. So I'm like, how are you a Secret Service agent? Like, well, like how are you so good at adept in this area? In this area, you're like an idiot. But,
Where'd you go?
so, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Did your camera die?
It seems to be that my.
Oh wow.
That's cool.
Folks, that'll do it for us.
I'm a ghost in the machine.
Yeah, I mean your fan has been going forever, so I think your computer might be tired. I don't know.
Well, that and the fact that it was dying.
No, well,
It's
there we
plugged
go.
up. So yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, thank you for joining us. We'll try to be here. Oh, I ain't gonna be here next week, so we got to record that. I already know I got to work. I got to work Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and it's the Read Freely Festival at the Richland County Library. So if I'm not working, I don't know what time I got to work Saturday. My goal is to go to the festival because I'm trying to get out there. So yeah. So other than that, hey, people, play what you like, enjoy what you like, and fuck the haters.
Here we go. We're out, folks. As soon as I found the graphic that says we're out. All right. Yeah. Now we're out.